Testing 1, 2, and we're here. All right, so let's go ahead and start taking a little around. Get out here. So first off, on the micro caps, I'm seeing TIVC, CETX, WOK. TIVC is leading in volume right now in the micros. It's up 50%, but we haven't looked at any reasoning behind that, so not too sure. Let's look at the non-micros. Non-micros, we have leader is up 38% with 13 million shares. And then we have VIVK, which is a 7-cent stock, but has 96 million shares traded on it. So we definitely need to better understand why that much volume has come in on that. So let me go ahead and take a couple of these and put it on to whole research. Actually, you know what? No, I'm just gonna do it from the scanner. So this is TIVC right here. 49%. CETX going on down there under the ATR highs. WOK. Those are the micros, and then going to the non-micros, we got OPTX of 41%, AIRE, VIVK, NVO 7% with only 1 million shares traded, LEXX, VMAR, MYND, and Saidu all the way down there at the bottom. So Saidu was the one that I traded yesterday. Over here and zoom in a minute. Right here. So Saidu, saw this one. We did our research. We saw that there was a topic going on because Trump was talking about building some new, or basically some goals for the military and defense. And so we saw space, defense, military type stocks take a nice little jump yesterday. I did miss this first move because it didn't confirm on this trend line for me. I was like, I'm just gonna wait for this something to happen above this trend line. So it actually popped down to this 179, popped all the way up here to the 237s. And in the Discord, I was talking to Donnell about this. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna wait a little bit to see if it can, because I thought it was gonna come back down here to maybe the 170s or whatever, but it just continued to grind higher. And when it fell down here at 208, I was so tempted to buy this first dip. So this first dip right here, super tempted to buy this, but I didn't do it. I was like, I want a little bit more confirmation. And so it traded flat here and came back to this right here on this double bottom. And then I said, okay, now I think it's time to play ball. And so it came back up here and it started to rise back up towards the tops of kind of like this little, on the one minute, it looks like a head and shoulders right here. So there was a little shoulder, a head, and then it kept bumping this previous 217 level. So I entered with an average price of 217 with 1,198 shares. And I rode this, and then it popped for me up here towards these highs up here to whatever. Now I was taking profit. Now before the day had started, I said, hey, I just want 7 cents from this. So that's what I was kind of like, once it gets 7 cents, I'm gonna see what it wants to do. But it did get choppy up in this area, and I was taking profit right around this 230-ish area. And but it did pull back and then go a little bit higher, did a pop all the way out here to 256. But like I said, I got out right at this previous resistance level, and it just came up. It went a little bit further. I mean, the resistance was at 237 and went up to 245, and then this little tick right here is so unpredictable, it'd be hard to catch that one. And then it came on back down. Okay. And it just played around this level for the remainder of the day, basically just chopping around. All right, so that was the trade from yesterday, and here's the trade. Oh boy, I forgot the trade journal. Okay, yeah. Okay, so basically, here's the trade journal here. Y'all are on the right page. Yeah. So, yeah, like I said, I was aiming for 7 cents because what I've been seeing this month, usually I get 30 cents per trade. And this month I just been like, you know what? It's slower. It's December. I think I'm just gonna be thankful and take profit. And that's pretty much what I've been on, just taking profit and just leaving it where it is. I did mess up my accuracy a little bit taking these couple of trades on ATHA. After I made money on it, then I went back in and kind of traded, messed up my accuracy. My accuracy is usually around like 80% or so. So it is what it is. On the calendar, so this is what the month looks like. One red day, and then we are coming to this Christmas week. Started off nice on Monday, and now we're here on Tuesday. So we're gonna see if anything is obvious there. Good morning, Hebrew. Going through right now the journals and all of the trading for this month real quick, and yeah, just playing ball every day. All right, so let's jump back over to the charts and let's go through some of these movers. So starting off with micro floats, why is TIVC up is the first question. Let's go ahead and do our due diligence. It's moved from 210 up here to 304s. I don't see on TOS, I don't see any current news, but let's just look at the profile of it, see what this company is about. So Tivic Health Systems, it is a health tech company. It develops and commercializes electronic medicine. Its primary product is ClearUp, a bioelectronic medicine for use in the treatment of sinus pain, pressure, and congestion. The company sells its products through online retailers and commercial distributors, as well as its own website. Its lead product candidate is Entolimod. I don't even know if I said that right. A late stage TLR5 agonist, treatment of acute radiation syndrome. In addition, the company markets its commercial product under the ClearUp Sinus Pain Relief brand name. It also focuses on non-invasive vagus nerve stimulation. The company was incorporated in 2016 and is based in Fremont, California. All right, so the first thing we go up and see where, is Fremont, California, United States. Next thing we see is the sector is healthcare, medical devices with 7 employees. So those boys are doing some hard work over there by themselves. All right, so let's go ahead and make some notes so don't forget this. So Fremont, California, we'll copy that. Sector is healthcare. And we know the theme of yesterday was the space, military, and defense because Trump he was talking about building on some new levels of military, whatever, going towards robotics and things like that, and warships and all of this stuff. So space, defense, and aerospace and all of that got a little bump, and plus SpaceX itself came out with some more spatial exploration news. So that's why that topic was so hot yesterday. But today, we don't know if the topic is going to switch, is going to continue, or what. So we kind of got to figure that out. But for Tivic Health, this is sinus pain relief with 7 employees. Let's go look at that, the statistics, and find the float. So out here, the float is looking like 1.58 million. Shares outstanding 1.77 million. Looks like the institutions have a larger holding, but not like a super large holding. Copy all of this. Okay. It is Tivic. And also, let's go to the news because I didn't see any live news on TOS. Let's see if it's any posted over here. So 11 days ago, Tivic acquires ready-to-sell CGMP manufacturing and development assets. So no fresh news on Tivic. The freshest news was 11 days ago. So let's go to the next one. Looking over here on the micros, we got CETX, but it's not looking that good. It's looking kind of like it faded off. So I don't even know how much I want to look into that. It's up 19%. It is a microflow. I do not see any catalyst for it. Let's just quickly look through it and just to see the profile and see what it's got going on over here. What's its connections? All right, Simtrex profile. Got it operates as a technology company in the United States and internationally. It operates through security, industrial services, and Simtrex corporate segments. The company offers browser-based video monitoring and analytics-based recognition systems, cameras, servers, and access control systems for security and surveillance in industrial and commercial facilities, federal prisons, hospitals, universities, schools, and federal and state government offices, and provides critical security and video surveillance solutions utilizing artificial intelligence. Okay, so artificial intelligence. Um, so let me notate that. That's one keyword. Even if I don't just deep dive into it, let me just get the keywords here. So we got security, surveillance. We have AI keyword. Let's see what I guess everybody's playing on AI, so it's not really something that's just a killer thing right now. Artificial intelligence based data algorithms. It is also provides services for rigging, mill writing, and plant maintenance, equipment erection, relocation, and disassembly. Installs high precision equipment in various industrial markets. Blah blah blah. Okay. Printing, graphics. They pretty much do everything. It seems. Surveillance, chemical, packaging, assembling, disassembling. They're very widespread, so it's kind of hard to know exactly what their direction is. It says that the company was formerly known as Diversified American Holding Inc. and it changed its name to Simtrex Inc. in December 2004. Simtrex Inc. It was incorporated in 1998. It's headquartered in Brooklyn, New York. Okay, so no fresh catalyst on today on this one. The float, under 1 million shares outstanding. Okay, that's all good, but no fresh catalyst. So I'm going to put no fresh catalyst over here and just keep those keywords, no fresh catalysts. Activate. I don't even know if y'all over here with me, but yeah, this was what I was reading off of right here. Tracks, but no fresh catalyst. All right, next one. I don't even know if I'm gonna mess with woke. WOK. I really just don't care about that one. It doesn't look that impressive. So let's jump over to the non-micros. The first one leading the day in percent gain with 14 million shares traded is OPTX. OPTX. Let's go look at what this company is about. For that fresh news. I'm not seeing any on TOS. The profile for this one says Syntec Optics. Am I the right one? Yeah, Syntec Optics Holdings Inc. manufactures and supplies integrated optics and photonics components, subsystems, and optical systems for defense, medical. Now remember, we saw defense yesterday. So people are gonna see defense and they're gonna be thinking, okay, military, blah blah blah. So we'll see what this one wants to do, but that is a keyword sticking out right there. It offers polymer-based optics and optical assemblies, electro-optics assemblies, molded polymer and glass optic components, optomechanical components, nano machining, and thin films coating. The company also provides optics assembly, electro-optics, blah, 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 design, coding services. This Syntec Optics Holdings Inc. was founded in 1981, so it's been around for a while. Got 159 employees, so it looks like a little bit bigger company. So we will copy this and see if we can dig and see if there's any other news that we may be missing. Why it's getting 14 million shares traded this morning. It is out of Rochester, New York, United States. Okay, so let's go and get the statistics. The float, looking at about 5.98 million, but the shares outstanding is 36.92 million. A little bit higher shares outstanding, but it is a low micro float. If we look at the insiders, there are a lot of insiders holding this. 83.80% insiders. So this one could get wild, could make some wild swings. Usually when it's heavier on institutions, it's more range based. And then once the institutions kind of lose their grip, it pops out kind of sporadically. But when it's insiders holding a lot of it, it could be one of those crazy poppers. So be careful on this one. Copy that. Because institutions love safe money, man. They be trying to control it. Oh, we're not gonna let it do anything. But insiders, they don't care. They'll fat finger. They'll be selling. They'll be doing all kinds of stuff. So chill out. Trying to be safe around these parts. Okay, so that is in there. Next one up. And let me flip over here. Here are my notes. Oh, did I get keywords off of that one? Maybe I did. Maybe I did. I'm not sure. For the keywords. Rochester keywords were defense. That's pretty much the only one that I saw that was on topic for what we've seen this week. So put at the top defense keyword. Okay. Speaking of the topic, so over here on my tools and my think log, this is my note for this week, what we've seen at the beginning of the week: space, military, and defense. So we want to see if things are going to stay on this topic or we're going to get a quick topic change today or the rest of any other trading day this week. Okay, let's go back over to the charts. What's the next one? Next one is AIRE. AIRE is up 26%. This one. Over here. AIRE, Re-Alpha Tech Corp, a real estate. All right, so already right here, this is a no trade. Real estate. So AIRE is no trade. I'm going to go ahead and put that on the notes. No trade on this one. This is a REIT, real estate investment trust. All right, we can stop there on that one. Next, VIVK is one that has 100 million shares traded. VIVK. So let's go look at that one. All right, VivaCore Inc. operates, acquires, and develops technologies and assets in the oil and gas industry in the United States and Kuwait. It operates through trucking logistics services and terminaling and storage product and services segments. The trucking logistics services segment engages in trucking crude oil and produced water and transportation and terminaling services of crude oil through its Omega gathering pipeline, as well as owns and operates crude oil pipeline injection truck stations. Okay, so basically the thing that keeps coming up is crude oil, crude oil, crude oil, crude oil, all through here. So let's go ahead and put that topic out there on VIVK with crude oil. And I don't even know what oil is doing. We'll go and look at that in a minute, see if that's relevant. Keyword crude oil. Let's see, any other, we got petroleum products. Petroleum products. And anything else. In addition, the company offers environmental solutions and remediation of soil and the extraction of hydrocarbons such as oil from properties contaminated by or laden with heavy crude oil. So they do cleanup as well. So pretty much they do the whole spectrum. They transport crude oil, clean up crude oil. Further, it sells petroleum commodities, including crude oil, natural gas liquids, and relates. So natural gas liquids, that's a key word. We'll see what the energy sector is doing today. That's the reason that it's got 100 million shares on it. This company was formerly known as NGI Holdings LLC and changed its name to Vivacor Inc. In April 2008. The company was incorporated in 2006 and is based in Dallas, Texas. All right. So let's go up here. It's got 100. And so this is not a small company. It's got 150 employees. This is energy, oil, and gas. The industry is oil and gas integrated. I'll go ahead and copy all of that. Pop that into my notes. Employees. Let's go look at that. The statistics. Vivacor float is 100. And now this is a much higher float. It's crazy that there's no real institutions in here, but it is a 5-cent stock, so that makes sense. Institutions aren't trying to hold this, but it is just a little bit heavy on insiders. But let's go ahead and take the shares outstanding and this high float. So that means it could be choppy even with just insiders in here. So when you have a low float with a bunch of insiders, it can be very volatile, but volatile does not equal risk. It just means that there could be a lot of motion. But now you got a high float with insiders. And so they get nervous and you could see some big drops on this one. Especially if there's no real catalyst behind it. But we will look into that. Much higher float on this little cheap one. I don't know why it's got 100 million something shares on it, but it is what it is. We can't ask why. We just need to find out, huh? Keep reading. All right, so let's go over here to the news for it. Over here to the news. So it says 22 hours ago, Vivacor signs a letter of intent to acquire Coyote Oilfield Services, expanding integrated midstream capabilities. So they signed a letter of intent. Now, letter of intent can entail some basic, things that they're gonna maybe some things that are gonna be in the contract, and maybe I don't know. It entails some things, but let's just look into it. Is a letter of intent of acquisition worth? Usually we stay away from acquisitions, but this one just seems to have attracted the whole market over here with 101 million shares traded. So not saying I'm gonna jump in it crazy and blind, but yeah, somebody either we have people that took big losses yesterday and they're trying to make their money back, so they're getting in early, or what they perceive as early on a 7-cent stock, and they believe it can go to $1, or maybe there's something else that we just are missing. All right, so looking over here on this news, the signing of a letter of intent, provider, blah, blah, blah. What I want to know is, on this letter of intent, are there any intentional financial contributions that will be interchanged here? I really don't care about their talking points. I want to see, is there any real money being talked about in here? And there is not. So yeah, nothing there that interests me. So this is what we got so far. We have keywords in this one is crude oil, petroleum products, natural gas liquids, energy, oil and gas, super high shares outstanding, super high float. So kind of a weird one to try to play with today. We already looked at ARE or AIRE. NVO also has catalyst for today. It says that go back to the first one. Novo Nordisk says FDA approves Wegovy drug for weight loss management. So that was this morning at 2 o'clock. And that's a repeat of the news. Weight loss pill approved in the US. But that's fresh news. Fresh news. I don't know what kind of reaction it's going to get. So let's go look at Novo Nordisk. It's $51 per share with fresh news. And I need to put all these fresh news on watch so I can make sure that I don't miss any of them. Because if that one is going to take the attention on the day, I don't want to not be looking at it. Let's see. Yeah, so Novo Nordisk, I'm gonna add it down there to the on watch. And then let's go ahead and into it and see what they got going on over here. It might be on the front page news. We haven't even checked the front page news yet, so Novo could be up there. Profile. See what we got over here. Novo Nordisk, this one, together with its subsidiaries, engages in the research and development, manufacture, and distribution of pharmaceutical products in Europe, the Middle East, Africa, mainland China, Hong Kong, Taiwan, North America, and internationally. It operates in 2 segments, diabetes and obesity care. So there are our keywords there, Novo Nordisk. Let's go ahead and add obesity or diabetes and obesity care. And rare disease. So that's some keywords there. All right, the diabetes and obesity care segment provides products for diabetes, obesity, cardiovascular, and other emerging therapy areas. The rare disease segment offers products in the areas of rare blood disorders, rare endocrine disorders, and hormone replacement therapy. The company also provides insulin pens. So insulin, things that could, if I wonder how their pricing is on insulin pills, not pills, pens. That's another keyword there, insulin. Growth hormone pens, which aren't as popular. In addition, it offers smart solutions for diabetes treatments such as smart insulin pens, and dose check and insulin dose guidance application. The company has a collaboration agreement with UNICEF to tackle childhood obesity. Okay, so it's for the kids. Childhood obesity. It's going to play on the heartstrings. And with Valo Health Inc. to discover and develop novel drug programs for cardiometabolic space. Okay, so this one was founded in 1923. It's been around for a long time. Ooh, look at those employees. 78,554 employees. Boy, that is a big drug company. All right, so let's go ahead and notate that. Let's go out here and look. The statistics, the float, and all of that really doesn't matter on one this big because it doesn't. Like, I guarantee you, the institutional holdings, yeah, insider 0, institutions 9%. This is one that's going to be very stable. Shares outstanding 3.37 billion, but it has fresh news. So that's what we want to see. What has fresh news on the day and what can take the eyes of the people. All right, so document that. All right, so there are the notes for that one. Novo Nordisk, diabetes, obesity, rare health disease. Some of the keywords that I saw was insulin pens, so maybe they're maybe pricing down insulin. We don't know yet. Childhood obesity, healthcare, huge company though, 78,000 employees, big money. All right, so let's jump back over to the non-micros. So we went over OPTX, VIVK, AR, AIRE, Novo. Lex is the next one. I do not see a catalyst for this one. It's only a 4%, so not super impressive. Got 8 million shares traded, but yeah, Lex, I mean, let me just, you know what, just to do my due diligence, I'm just going to look at the profile of Lex. If this doesn't look interesting, I'm just gonna leave it alone. But I don't see any catalyst for it. So let's come to the front of the congregation. Oh snap. Has 8 million shares traded on it. All right, Luxaria. This is a Canadian stock. Luxaria Biosciences operates as a biotechnology company. Company offers its patented drug delivery enabling platform. Okay, so what are you delivering? So it's rich triglyceride oils and carrier compounds that improve the way they enter the bloodstream. Okay, a cannabinoid. So talking about cannabis, I'm not sure. It's a play on the previous week's cannabis, whatever. I don't know. Okay, so this one only has 7 employees. Not seeing a whole lot of interesting things there. So just look at the news. Looking like a no-go to me though. Okay, announces closing of a registered direct offering. That's what it was. 6 days ago had a direct offering on it. That killed it. If we look at the okay, sure I'm on the right screen. Yeah, registered direct offering doesn't look too good though. VMAR and all these other ones have gone red, so not too worried about those. We kind of just want to see the ones that are up. Even if they fall during the day, we want to see if they have fresh catalyst behind the name. That's it. So Novo NVO is the only one that I really saw that was looking really good. Let's look at the front page news, and then we'll do some. We'll see what looks the most bullish and kind of show how we do structure analysis. And that'll be game. Unless something else pops up that is looking pretty good. But as of now, MVO is the one that has the news but does not have the volume. VIVK. Oh, let's go look at oil. That's what we want to do. So oil over here, I think it is /CL. Oil, I believe. Yep, that's it. Let's go ahead and make that big. So this is oil. Looking at Friday, it came down here. Well, I guess Wednesday of last week came down here and started to trend up. I used to really love oil, but oil is just it be all over the place, man. Especially the oil small caps, they really will make you lose money because oil is so unpredictable. People change their emotions and opinions on oil all the time. And so it kind of just has its own ebb and flow, which is very violent. But yeah, came down here to 54 last Tuesday going into Wednesday. Traded up here, tested 56, came back down and started to hold some type of uptrend here. And now it's sitting up from 55s up here to 58. So oil has been pretty bullish, but that does not mean that penny stock is going to be bullish at all. So unless it drops an actual catalyst, I'm not sure that it's going to. Well, it dropped the catalyst yesterday, the non-binding letter of intent to acquire Coyote oil field. So it's just a letter of intent, nothing to be excited over. All right, so let's go look at the front page news and see if any of the things we've read about are on the front page. So stock futures steady as gold surges to fresh record. Copper hits 12,000 for the first time as tariffs uptrend market. Trump unveils warship. This is where he was talking about yesterday why military and defense and all of that was getting a push because he has a warship and the warship is named after himself in the shipbuilding push. So it's going to be called the Trump. So if neighboring countries or whatever, they see that Trump rolling up, they know better get down. The Trump. But anyway, tariffs and cost of living pressures create glut of undrunk. Undrunk Scott. I don't even know what that's talking about. Cost of living pressures create glut of undrunk Scott. Gold, silver hit highs. A stunning rally continues. Dollars worst slide since 2017 has further to go. Options show oil edges up. So there's oil front page. Edges up amid U.S. pressure on Venezuela exports. Tariff hit. U.S. firms are selling refund rights for pennies on the dollar. Novo, this is NVO, the one we just looked at, appeal to put demand for cash buyers to test. Newest, now this was from 6 hours ago. Newest news, latest news, a look at the experts racing to decode Trump's tariffs rules. Explainer, what Novo Nordisk's weight loss pill approval means for company and patient or company patients. Paramount's new offer for Warner Brothers is not sufficient, major investor says. Um, Companies collecting pennies on a dollar. Okay, we already saw that one. To recoup some tariff costs. Novo Nordisk again. So we've seen Novo Nordisk 6 hours ago. We've seen Novo Nordisk here. We've seen Novo Nordisk down here. So a couple of Novo Nordisk on the front page. So that's going to be something that draws people, even though it hasn't received that much volume yet. I believe during the open it will. Copper nears to 12,000. We just saw that over there. Trump's long tortured relationship with the unemployment rate just got worse. Let's go see what that's talking about. Trump's long tortured relationship with the unemployment rate just got worse. When jobs or inflation data countered President Donald Trump's preferred economic narrative, he typically offers alternative statistics to shine a more positive light on the economy. But Trump's latest effort asks Americans to buy into some puzzling logic. After America's unemployment rate hit a 4-year high of 4.6% in November, Trump made the argument that the job market is far better than it appears. His reasoning, he could quickly put millions of Americans back to work, but won't. Okay, so now if I want to make some good numbers, I'll add 300,000 jobs. I can do it with one phone call, he said. Okay, so one phone call, blah, blah. All right, so here's what it is. Job market has been upside down and right side up and back upside down. So that's really that's more of a opinionated take on that. I'm not sure how the job market is going to end up panning out. As far as what they're talking about this morning, let's see. So, markets, what lower rates mean for Russell 2000 small caps? We can into that. That's 8 minutes ago. Will 2026 be the year for non-US equities to take the lead? Don't really care. That's kind of futuristic. Don't really care about that. Strategists are bullish on healthcare in 2026. Yeah, I am too. I've been dumping in already. Well, I was dumping in way before they got interested or way before they got bullish. So I'm already holding some good healthcare holdings. Why VWAP matters more than moving averages in today's market. And this is what you call a trader trap, especially for people that are trading small caps. They'll see something like this and be like, "Oh yeah, VWAP is a God code," and then they go and get clapped up off VWAP. This is really referring to those bigger, like Nvidia, those plays that are really reactive to VWAP and really respect VWAP. Small caps, they will dive right through it. They will tap dance on it. They will do everything around it because small caps don't care. They don't care. And small caps are momentum trading stocks, so a lot of times they'll fly through VWAP, and maybe they'll recover VWAP, but they go through it a pretty good ways before they be, oh, that was VWAP we just passed. Let's hit the reverse a little bit. Anyway, let's go ahead and look into this one. So let's see what they're talking about with
small caps too, Eric. It's been talk about the small caps too, Eric. It's been a strong move, especially among, you look at the unprofitable companies, as you point out, Eric. Does that concern you? That move is that a sign of excess or no? Hey, that's a sign of the kind of leadership we want to see.
Well, I like the idea the small caps are rallying. It makes perfect sense. They have underperformed large caps for over a decade.
Mm-hmm.
When you have a Fed that's cutting rates, who benefits? Small companies benefit more than large. They're more levered. And it just stands to reason that lower rates are going to help them more. So I'm okay with that. Am I concerned that the unprofitable 40%
Let's
of the
pause him real quick. We do have one popping up here called TIRB. Pause. I'm gonna come back to him, but pausing him right quick just to show you guys this one. TIRB popped out here. Let's go and do our due diligence on it. It's up 39%, $1.24. It has 5 million shares traded on it. So let's go do our due diligence on that real quick. TIRB. Let me just open up a duplicate. RB. Trinity Biotech. While I get it pulled up, give me 1 second. I'll let y'all look at it. Come on now, pull it up. And all right, so let's see what this company is talking about. Not a micro float, but we will see what it actually is. Let's go to the profile first. Oh my goodness, this is a long profile. Okay, so this one is out of Bray, Ireland. Trinity Biotech acquires, together with its subsidiaries, develops, acquires, manufactures, and markets medical diagnostic products for the clinical laboratory and point of care segments of the diagnostic market in the Americas, Asia, Africa, and Europe. The company offers clinical laboratory products, including diagnostic tests and instrumentation, which detects infectious disease, sexually transmitted diseases consisting of syphilis and herpes, SARS-CoV-2, and Epstein-Barr, measles, mumps, toxic. Oh my goodness. Okay, all of these diseases, as well as products for the in vitro diagnostics measurement of hemoglobin A1C, used in the monitoring of diagnostics of diabetes and identifying those who are at risk of developing diabetes. So this is the second stock that we've seen talking about diabetes. So is that something, diabetes and weight loss, is that something that is kind of like a circulating topic today? I'm not sure, but that's the second time we've seen it. So I'll go ahead and notate that. Notate that. So diabetes we've seen twice today. See if we see that word any other times in their profile. Diabetes and identifying diabetes. Okay, so they also do risk of. Okay, it also provides laboratory testing services for Sjogren's syndrome. I'm not even sure I said that right. Hearing loss, celiac disease, lupus, rheumatoid arthritis, systemic scoliosis. I'm just going to stop on that one. And other laboratory testing services for autoimmune disorders. In addition, the company develops, manufactures, and sells products in the immunofluorescence assay, enzyme link absorb. Okay, that's a lot of jumbling words. Anything else? Bile acids, diagnosis of liver and kidney diseases, blah blah blah. Cool. Okay, so they're based risk of prostate cancer. And prostate cancer could be a keyword. This one has been around since 1992, incorporated in 1992, and is headquartered in Bray, Ireland. Okay, so let's go up here. It's got 401 employees. That's a lot of employees for a stock that's cheap. That's a lot of employees. Apparently they paying the bill some type of way. All right, so it actually closed yesterday at 89 cents and is now up to $1.37. Let's go and look at the statistics of this one. See what that float's looking like. All right, so the float is 280.2 million. Insiders hold it. Wow, a lot of people holding this one. Insiders and institutions almost even, but institutions have a little bit more. This one's gonna be a hard one to move. Okay, so let's go ahead and take note of. Oh, whoa. This is an information mismatch. My bad. shares outstanding is 18.63 million. The float is 280.2 million. That is a mismatch. So anytime your float is always supposed to be smaller than your shares outstanding. Anytime you see a bigger float than shares outstanding, that's a data mismatch right there. That does not make sense. So I'm not trusting this stock right there. I'm gonna notate that. Notate that. That is a huge inconsistency right there. I would say that is a red flag. All right, so there are the notes. And let me also add to these notes that this is a data mismatch. Data mismatch float and float shares outstanding. Float to shares outstanding. Okay, so yeah, glad we caught that. So we got a data mismatch on this one. So definitely be careful on this one. The problem with the data mismatch is you don't know if it's actually a low float. You don't know if it's actually a high float. You don't know if it's going to be a super choppy one. Looking at the way that it's trading, it's already showing these wicks up here. It's showing wicks like it's trading like a larger float. And so, yes, it made a move from 89 cents all the way up here, but with that mismatch, that's gonna throw some wrenches in the machinery. So basically, let's go look at the catalyst for this as well. The catalyst is that Trinity Biotech awarded a major order of 9 million trend screen HIV tests. Okay. So this is HIV screening. Trend Biotech awarded 9 million order for its Trend Screen HIV flagship HIV screening product. So that's we'll see. HIV screening. Let's go ahead and add that to the notes. So diabetes was the big thing, but the actual catalyst for today is talking about HIV screening. So this does not go with the other diabetes topic that we saw. So we're gonna say catalyst HIV screening award. Screening. Or was it award or what? What was it again? Awarded a major order. Okay, so awarded a major order for 9 million HIV screens. 9 million, and I'm wondering how much money is it going to bring in for them? HIV. All right. So we got a data mismatch. We got HIV screenings. Let's see if they're talking about any kind of money on these HIV screenings. Is there a monetary number that we can see in their documentation? Okay, so this was traded. Okay, so this was 17 minutes ago. Trinity Biotech awarded major order for 9 million trend screen, whatever. Company also reports key milestone, positive operations, blah blah blah. Any money. 9 million units. Don't know how much these units cost. This. Okay, so the order reflects a renewed commitment from global health organizations to support HIV screening efforts. And that has been a big thing in a lot of these states, Houston and a lot of these bigger city states have been going through it with those types of diseases, syphilis, HIV, just people passing around things to each other. And it's been a big thing for sure. So they're trying to step up their game, but let's see if they're talking any money as they're stepping up their game. Okay, so trading update. Revenues Q3 2025 increases by 32% to 14.3 million compared to 10.8 million in Q2 2025, primarily due a strong increase of 2.1 million in rapid HIV test sales. So more people buying these as they're figuring out, oh my goodness, this thing sticks with me for life. You know, people are like, wait a minute. And you know, people just don't like the protection or contraception or anything like that. They just be out there without a football helmet on, running around the streets. A significant rise in hemoglobin product sales, rising to 5.7 million compared to 4 million. Gross profit for Q3 2025 was 6.5 compared to 4.6 Q2. They're making more money coming into the end of the year. Let's see, getting out a little other data points here. Pipeline developments. Okay, the company remains committed to pursuing immediate growth opportunities. Company is also advancing the commercialization of its key strategic growth projects. I'm not seeing much money talk here, so this one's gonna be a hard one. It's got the what. See, this is the thing. If you have to dive this deep into a news catalyst to try to find something, it's probably not that good, right? Because to scroll this, usually if something is good, it's gonna be closer to the top. Let's go to BAM SEC and see if they have any kind of shelf registration or anything like that out here on Trill. Okay, it does have a shelf registration from January, February, March of this year. March 21st, shelf registration sitting out there ready to go. So I'll be very careful with the shelf registration being this year. I'll be very careful with this thing breaking over dollar, especially with how many. It's got an inconsistency of share float, so we really don't know how many tradable shares there are, and we don't know how much selling can go on. So shelf registration, let me notate that. And I'm using BAM SEC to check shelf registrations. That's from this year's trade. From shelf registration January, February, March. So March 21st this year. 21st, 2025, sitting on the books. And so now we have done our due diligence. Let me see if I see any other new things up here. So, nope, pretty much all the same things. I see SOC here. We'll look into SOC and see what that's got going on, but no new micro caps up here, just still TIVC, walk, and all of that. TIVC ended up selling off pretty bad. So yeah, went up to 313 and came on back down. No catalyst on the day. So I mean, why would people continue holding it, right? Then back over here to non-micros. Let's see, what was that one I just said? SOC popped up here. SOC. Let's go look into that one. So SOC closed yesterday at 750. Went up to a high of 968. So let's go do our due diligence. It's got a million shares traded. It's up 18%. We pretty much looked at everything else up. Yeah, everything else up here. So SOC is the next move. Good morning, Senate. SOC. Sable Offshore Corp. What you talking about? Is this gonna be more oil or energy or something? Offshore Corp. That sounds, I don't know. I don't want to guesstimate. Let's see. All right, so Sable Offshore Corp operates as an independent oil and gas company in the United States. The company operates through 3 platforms located in federal waters offshore California. It also owns and operates 16 federal leases across approximately 76,000 acres, as well as subsea pipelines that transport crude oil, natural gas, and produced water from the platforms to onshore processing facilities. The company was formerly known as Flame Acquisition Corp. And it changed its name to Sable Offshore Corp. In February 2024. Sable Offshore was incorporated in 2020 and is headquartered in Houston, Texas. Okay, so this is another oil. I forgot which. I think it was VIVK was the other oil one that we saw. VIVK. So let's go ahead and notate this. Another oil type company, and it does look like it has some type of catalyst for today. Let me read the catalyst first before I do the notes. So let's see what TOS says. TOS reported at 5:38 this morning. Sable Offshore Corp said on December 22nd, U.S. Pipeline and Hazardous Materials Safety Administration approved company's restart plan for Las Flores pipeline system. So I'm guessing they're going to be starting to pipe oil out of California again. Now, California, they've been saying for the longest time that it was going to fall out into the sea. And a lot of this drilling and stuff like that, the fears of going out and trying to drill and create some type of landslide or create some type of further erosion has been a fear there for a long time. So to see them trying to ramp back up the oil digging and drilling and all of that is kind of concerning. But we'll see how it goes. Out there in California. Now we know that California is going through it right now with the migrant issues and all of the things that are kind of surrounding it. And so they're trying to increase their income, increase the amount of money that that state is providing. And if they can extract oil without destroying themselves, it could be a good asset to have. But like I said, they got to do it without destroying themselves. So yeah, that's another oil catalyst. And let's go ahead and do some notes here. So for this is oil, keyword oil and gas and natural gas, transports, crude oil, natural gas. So it transports water. Okay. Yeah, so Houston, so this is out of Houston, Texas. The base though. That's out of Houston. I mean, if Texas is going up to California and destroying it, I mean, do they really do they really care? So this one is oil, gas, and drilling. Um, Sable Offshore, Houston, Texas, United States. Sector energy, oil and gas and drilling, 161 employees. Let's see, statistics. We have float is 104 million, huge in institutional holding here. 56.63% in comparison to 15.18%. This is going to be very hard to move, and it's probably going to be super duper range bound. If it does break out, hey, it may break out. It's up 16%, but this one with these heavy institutions in here is going to be a hard one to move. Shares outstanding is looking like 144 million. And float is 104 million, so that's no mismatch there. We will notate that those institutions are heavy on this one. They've been out here. Don't be expecting. I mean, if you buy a breakout, you may get torn out of pocket because it pulls right back into the range. So the best way to do these types is figure out what the range is, find the bottom of the range, and that's the area that you attack if you're gonna attack these types. All right, so there's the notes. Activate notes there. Ready to go. So we have SOC. Let me go ahead and put that down. That's fresh news on the day. Let me make sure I got all the fresh news out here. So as far as micros go, no fresh news on any of these micros. And then in the non-micros, Trib Bio had fresh news, but it has a data mismatch. So I'm not sure about how that one's going to end up doing. OPTX, no fresh news. AIR, REIT. BIVK, no fresh news, but it's in the sector of oil and all of that stuff, but it does not have fresh news. Novo Nordics have fresh news. So these three are three that we found with fresh news. TRIB, Novo Nordics, and SOC are the ones that we have fresh news on. All right, so let's go and look at those charts. And now we can look at the daily charts now that we found fresh news on them. Let's look at these daily charts. So Trib, let's start with Trib with the data mismatch, see where it could be heading to. Hit a high of 153. Go to the daily chart for this one. And let's go back over to okay, so Trib daily chart. This is what it's looking like. It's like a whole bunch of torture. I'm not sure if it's done any reverse splits because the high up here is only 346. So let's see. Previous high is 122. It did get past this 122 level here on the daily chart. So let's zoom in a little bit at this peak level and we'll mark this up as a peak daily level. So edit. All right, you know what? Let's just put a possible because the peaks, I usually look at peaks as things that they have a long wick out there, and the wick is the peak. This is like a possible daily level for it to come back and test. So possible daily level at the 123s is currently at 145. Doesn't have that much to fall. Let's zoom back a little bit and see if it has previously tested these levels. So 123 again up in here. We had a little bit of a fall down between here, 132, 131. And nothing else too obvious up in here. We had a little bit of like a gap in here around the 130s up in this level, a gap down. So that may be a possible level. Let me duplicate. We had this is like a micro gap. So micro gap on the daily. Micro daily level. Okay, so that is that. And then further than that, I really don't see any obvious things up. I mean, it's up here to the 197s, but I'm not sure it's going to get all the way up there. I guess I could put that out there as a peak daily level. It peak out there, but came down off of that. Let me duplicate. This one's going to be a peak. But really, I'm looking for something like this to be a peak, more of a peak. This is another possible daily level at 196. All right, so let's go back to the 1 minute chart and see where those line up. So on the 1 minute chart, we have the possible daily level that was here at 123. We saw a little bit of wicking through this 123 up here to the 132, and then it moved on out. Then we have a top up here of 153, and that next level, 196, is all the way up there. But remember, we had that data mismatch. So we don't know if this is a larger float than it is telling us or what. So we got to be careful on that one. And we'll come back in just a minute and do some structure analysis, but we haven't got there yet. NVO, the next one. NVO, look at the daily chart over here. Okay, daily chart. This one is definitely a larger type mover. It closed yesterday at 48, and now it has came out of this level. There was a gap up here. It has filled this gap here. We got to notate that. It's a gap fill level. Edit. Do a high and low gap fill, high, low. Daily on daily. Okay, that's the high daily gap. And then we'll do one for the low. Duplicate. Edit. So this is the low daily gap. All right, so we got a high and low in here. Activate, bring you back down to that low side. And that's like 51.08. And then further than that, it's got another gap up here at the 54.53 levels. So let's go ahead and put those in there. So we will activate, or not activate, duplicate. Duplicate. Got the high daily level here at the 54. Okay, we got the low daily level here. Those are the next ones. And past that, let's back it on up a little bit. Got those gap levels there. Past that, we have a small little gap fill up here, 256, but I'm not sure if it's going to get that hot. I think I'm just going to leave it right there for now at those levels that we currently have. We go back to the main. And let's go back to the 15-minute of where these actually are landing on it. So this is the gap that is sitting in between. So we will activate out of here a little bit. Oh, okay. So we see that it came down here and we can see those levels coming into play. So this was that lower level and then it went up there and tapped the higher level. Now it does have relatively good news. So maybe it goes back up there. I'm not sure, but it's already based out here and tested this low level already down here. So this one could be an interesting one, and it is gaining more volume. When we were first looking at it, it was only 1 million shares. Now it's up to 4 million shares. I'm getting a call out by Hebrew that BBLG is popping. So we're about to go over there and look at that one as well. Okay, so BBLG. Woo! All right, BBLG, what you got going on? This is fresh news. Has fresh news at 7 o'clock this morning. Bone Biologics improves extension of RHNELL/1 product shelf life to 24 months. Okay, so this one shot from 185 all the way up here to 255. Oh, I'm on the 15-minute. Let me go to the 1 minute. For the 1 minute, looking at a high of 255 up there. Let's go see what's going on over here. BBLG. This is a fresh catalyst, so we want to notate this one and add this one to the on watch list. We want to know all the fresh catalysts here. Nice call out too. All right, so this one, BBLG, Bone Biologics, to the profile. High of 255 up there. Bone Biologics Corporation, a medical device company, focuses on bone regeneration and spinal fusion using the recombinant human protein. The company's lead medical device, NELL/1-DBM, a osteopromotive recombinant protein that provides target-specific control over bone regeneration. It also develops NELL1-DBM fusion device used in lumbar spinal fusion. The company's NELL platform technology used in delivering enhanced outcomes in surgical specialties of spinal, orthopedic, general orthopedic, plastic reconstruction, neurosurgery, interventional radiology, and sports medicine. It serves spine surgeons and patients with a skeletal bone defect or bone-related condition in their spine. The company has a license agreement with the UCLA Technology Development Group to develop and commercialize NELL/1 for spinal fusion applications. Bone Biologics Corporation was founded in 2004 and is headquartered in Burlington, Massachusetts. All right. Ooh, Bone Biologics. Look at there. We got 2 full-time employees. So this is Burlington Woods, Burlington, Massachusetts. 2 full-time employees. So I'm not sure if they have contractors or what, but this is the owner and the janitor here. Definitely trying to make some business. So I feel that's smart. Now that's a small business for real. Or maybe the janitor is also the accountant. I'm not sure. But we're going to take notes and see what we got going on here. So sector healthcare, medical devices with 2 employees. And let's go look at these statistics. All right, so on the statistics, we have shares outstanding 1.8 million, so very low float. Not too many insiders holding this, and not too many institutions either. Not a whole lot of people trying to control it. Go ahead and take those notes there. Yeah. Okay, so they got some pretty hot news for them to only, and I don't know who made the discovery out of those two employees, but somebody made the discovery. Let's go see what their holders are looking like real quick. I usually don't go over here, but I just want to see what their top institutional holders are. So it says DR Securities, they only got 11,000 shares, so nobody's holding 1 million shares of this company. Bank of America has 14 shares on record as of September 30th. UBS Group has 66 shares. Clear Street. So basically, I'm thinking whatever shares you take on this, you got to be real careful because Bank of America only has 14. They can sell at any time. Citigroup, 206 shares. SBI Securities Limited, 200 shares. Tower Research Capital with 1,000 shares. DRW with 11,000 shares. So what does this mean? This means that you probably don't want to be taking more sides than the people that are actually holding it long term, right? Because if you jump out here with 2,000 shares, they got somebody to sell to. You know what I'm saying? They're like, oh yeah, appreciate you, homie. BBLG, like I said, 2 employees going up there to 260 and looking like it's making some type of round trip. I'm not sure why it's not on the scans yet. Oh, there it is. I see it on the scan. I'm tripping. On the micro scans there. We did our due diligence. We see the value here. We've taken our notes, and yeah, this one's gonna be a dangerous one with those 2 employees. Dangerous one. Instant drop. All right, so now we have fresh catalysts, and we got these 4 that we're watching. So TRIB, TIRB, or TRIB, BBLG, NVO, and SOC are the fresh catalysts that we've seen on today. TRIB came down. Let's see. So possible daily micro gap that it was playing in 153. All right, so let's look at some structure now. So it's come up here to 143 3 times. Not sure if it's done going, but we need, if it transitions downward, this can be the first downward idea that we get. But not sure on that one. This one is too steep to say that it's any kind of trend yet. It doesn't have true structure on BBLG. So it's kind of just making its way up. Tivic is still leading the micro in volume with 29 million, but it's not finding a lot of love on Tivic. And there goes BBLG dumping on down some more, and now 50 cents down. And this is why we do our due diligence and we just read a little bit. Yes, it's going up. Yes, it's popping. But as it's going up, we don't want to be buyers. We want to be sellers of mindset. Hey, why shouldn't I be a buyer here? Let's go look it up. You know what I'm saying? If it's ripping up, it's getting that momentum. Wait a minute. Pull the plug. Let's go see what's going on. We don't want to be a bleeding cow out here. All right, so BBLG going on down. Let's see. So we got here Trib continue to kind of look like it wants to go up, but like with that higher float, they don't really know what it wants to do. Does it want to be a high float or low float? OPTX. What am I doing looking at those? I'm looking for a catalyst. That's what I'm looking for. We already spotted the ones that we kind of got on deck here. And you notice more and more volume is flowing to the ones that have catalyst, right? If it doesn't have catalyst, people are like, they like to sit on their hands. So a little small pop out. Let's see if it gets ripped back in here under 144. This will be the first downwards idea if it can't break out of this 153. It does have the most volume out of the ones that we've seen with catalysts. So let's see if it rips back down here. Needs to break down 143. Up 65%, 64%. Almost 150. Back down there, big boy. Crash out. All right. We're going to break the high. 150, stopped at the 150. There it is, breaking the high. All right, so that invalidates, and now we have an uptrend to watch here. So starting, there's a slight uptrend, and what I do is I look for every single idea of an uptrend and downtrend and see what gets confirmation. So let's say right here, this is one type of or one uptrend idea. It has not been confirmed yet or whatnot, whatever. Maybe it has been confirmed. See, 1, 2, 3, 4 times it is tapped down here. I want to see what reaction it gets when it comes back down here to this level of the 131. Is it just going to crash out, or is it actually going to continue to hold some type of trend here? The lows down here were at 89 cents, so it's a long way away from that. It did get over the ATR high, and the ATR high is basically just taking the close of yesterday and adding the average true range at a plus and minus. So if the average true range is 10 on this one is 10 cents yesterday, so it's taking that 10 cents and adding it as a plus or minus to the closing price, right? So it got above the ATR high, which is a very bullish signal. All right, so we see that. That's just one form of structure there. We have not found a downtrend yet. So basically the way I look at this is downtrends are reasons why I don't want to be a buyer. Uptrends are reasons I do want to be a buyer. So when I find an uptrend, I want to be a buyer somewhere around the uptrend if it is something that meets the scope of the trade, right? I don't want to be buying up here, especially if I don't see or don't know where the downtrend is, right? It hasn't shown us a downtrend yet. Next thing, let's go back over here to BBLG. So kind of similar idea here. No real visible up or down trends, kind of just confusing right now. And so that's kind of like, okay, well, you don't know what you want to do, so I don't know what you want to do. And at that point, I'm just going to sit on my hands. NVO, not really moving much. SOC, hit that high up there of 968, but no clear downtrend. But we do have a couple of ideas of uptrends that could be followed here, have not yet been truly confirmed. See what it wants to do once it gets down here. That one's kind of steep. I don't know. Not sure. Yeah, that one's very steep, and plus it's already broken that down. So nope. Okay. So that's a little bit more analysis. Trib going back up there, popping a double top here on the 160. Is this the start of the downtrend? We don't know. And so this is how shorts get caught. They're like, oh yeah, this may be the start of the downtrend. They'll get in up here looking for it to start going down. And what if it pops again? I mean, we haven't verified any structure. So it's like, your fault. Now, yeah, you could have a possible descent down here to 132 from here. That's a 30-cent winner, but it could easily keep going up. It's got 44 million shares traded on it. We are starting to see lower highs, the first lower high here. So is this a start? We still don't know. BBLG continue to go down. 11%. Still too steep to verify any kind of trends on that one. NVO. Nope. SOC has not tested that yet. Okay. Oh, did I look at the daily charts of all these? I looked at the daily chart of TRB, and I looked at the. I don't think I looked at the one of BBLG. I kind of think we stopped at the just looking into the data there. NVO, we did look at the daily chart on that one, but SOC, we did not look at the daily chart. So let's look at that. So SOC daily chart. We see that, I don't know if it's had reverse splits or what, but it was at one point maybe at $35 and it's fallen all the way down here to $7. So kind of a very long fall for it. It was at closed at 760 yesterday and is now trading around 894. It does have a peak daily level. So let me activate this, move just a little bit. Okay. That almost made it disappear completely. All right, so has a peak daily level over 955. We will edit that 955 level, peak daily. We also have a little bit of a gap here between 998 and 1040. So there's a gap right there. It's the higher one, so we will edit higher gap level. Okay, and a lower gap level. So we'll duplicate, put that on that lower level. Edit. Or gap level. And we'll back that up a little bit. Got high, low, and past that, I mean, up here is really no kind of stop points until it reaches the 1324. So, we'll see. Definitely needs to keep up in volume though. If we look on the on watch, it's getting left behind. So SOCK is not competing with some of these other larger movers here. TRIB is going to need to fail. 48 million shares traded on it. And then I see HIO. Did y'all see HIHO popping up here? This one, HIHO, 2 million shares. It does have, it says Highway Holding plans to acquire 51% of Regent, Finbo something, press release, whatever. Okay, so this is a micro cap Highway Holdings as German manufacturer in growth bet. All right, HIHO. And it is running up the map with 46%. But no structure yet. Let's go ahead and do our due diligence real quick. I am about to have to jump off here because I need to go ahead and head to the other office. But you see what I'm doing. Getting my eyes on things. Looking at, hey, does this thing have a structured? Do I know if this is a downtrend? Do I know if this is uptrend? Have things been confirmed? What is the daily chart looking like? All of that. And these are the 4 that I have on watch right now. But let's look at HIHO. And see what it has going on over here. Highway Holdings Limited. Definitely a lot of volume though, still in pre-market. All right, Highway Holdings. Oh, okay, we can already stop here. Highway Holdings is a Hong Kong-based stock, so I'm gonna go ahead and see if it's blocked over here to trade. Let me just try to buy one. It is blocked. So no reason to even look at a Highway, whatever, if you're on TOS. HIHO is blocked, but it does have catalysts on the day, so I'm still going to add it to the watch list. If it outperforms these other ones, it becomes the main thing on the day. That's cool. I'm just going to be sitting on my hands if it becomes the main thing, because if it is, that means people are willing to trade trash. So let them do what they do. I can't trade it anyway, so no reason to just be like fawning over it. But the things that I can trade, I'll keep looking at, keep watching for structure to build, and keep on planning an entry if there is one. If there isn't one, it'll just be a no trade day, and I'm okay with that. I'm green on the month, green on the week from yesterday, so I got my Christmas money. We cool. You know what I'm saying? But these are the 5 that I have right now. TRIB. BBLG that I'm probably going to end up cleaning off of here because of the 2 employees. I'm really not into that. Especially now, the way that I do it, the way that I clean these off is if these lower volume movers start to overtake and get above this BBLG, then I'm like, all right, well, you're done. People are watching these channels down here, right, than your channel. So if you fall to the bottom, clean, and let these other ones play. All right, so yeah, that's pretty much the analysis for pre-market. Looks like we got a lower high on TRIB. And this can be the start of a downtrend. So this is the start of a downtrend idea. Has it been confirmed yet? No. So you can't put concrete on this, but this is just the idea. Following the trend here, downtrend here is going to push it into a pennant where it's going to have to make a decision either to break this bottom or continue to chop around this top. All right, BBLG, nothing clear down here. This is a bottom down here. There's a little bit of an idea at 189, but not too sure about that, especially with everything else that's already moving with better news and more employees and more money coming in. I'm not too sure about BBLG. HIHO broke the highs there. This is a Chinese stock, of course. Chinese stocks be going wild. It's up here at 149. Let's look at the daily chart on this one before I get out of here. I got like 3 minutes left and I'm gonna get on down. HIHO, you can see that it's been a popper and a dropper a lot. Look at these, look at these big old wicks that's giving up their profit. And it's also been downtrending even with these big wicks. So it doesn't hold this value. So it came down here to 83 cents and popped up here. And look where the little gap is here. So the gap is from 110 to 116. We'll see how it plays above this. So we're going to go ahead and mark this up as the gap. Actually, yeah. I mean, it does have this body in there, though. It may look like it actually already closed that gap a little bit. But we definitely don't want to see it back under 112. The top side of this was 129. We're going to throw that in there. So we will edit, and this will be a possible daily level that may get some reactions. Possible daily. But we want to see this thing go ahead and fall through the earth. So yeah, 129, and then above that, it's really no real interesting levels. Here's a peak daily level all the way out here to 195, but I'm not sure it'll make it out there. That's a peak. I like to see the peaks with big old long wicks daily. All right, so that is pretty much the analysis for today. We got us 5 stocks, and we want to see who's going to compete on the day. HIHO coming back down to that 129 level. I mean, that's, we really don't want to see it just, and look at that big old pop off of that 129. Let's see if it breaks that down. And I will update you guys in the Discord. We do have a Discord. It is free. That's where we continue conversations. And when I get over to my other office, I will jump back into the Discord and let you guys know what I see. If things have dumped, by the time I get over to the other office, usually the market is open. So we'll see. Sometimes I get there before, but yeah, the drive time, man, the drive time. So see, that's it. As far as things that I'm super interested in, so TRIB is one that I'm not super interested in. Okay. It has a data mismatch, so that is not going to be something that is at the top of the Richter scale for me. It's actually got some red flags, so I might actually take it off of this on watch. So TRIB is out of there. BBLG with its 2 employees is out of there. HIHO is a Chinese stock. It's out of there. NVO it's got some pretty good news on it, but I'm not sure if it'll be able to compete with these other ones. And then SOC is another one that I'm not sure will be able to compete. So right now, I'm pretty much just hands off based on the red flags that I've seen. And we got I mean, if I'm gonna trade something, I would not. I really don't want to have to trade something as high a float as NVO. That feels like I'm forcing something, forcing my way into higher floats and larger caps, and it's unnecessary. SOC, same deal. I mean, if it doesn't want to act right, it's oil and energy and all that, and it wants to be fishy today, cool. But with this Chinese stock coming up the map, pretty much leading the micros in percentage gain, if people want to focus there, hey, let them have it. Non-micros, the focus is pretty much on Trib, so it's one of those things you gotta just let them have it. Now, looking at the betas are they go from -5 up to +5, and they tell you how this thing follows the market, right? And so Trib has a beta score of 3.42, which means it doesn't weekly follow market. It moderately follows the market, right? It's not a strong follower. If it was 4 or 5, that's a strong market follower. So if the market's going up, it's probably going up. But this one is like a moderate follower. So I would be looking and checking the NQ or the SPY to see if they do any dropping today, because that can affect all of these that have these higher beta scores, like these threes. Now, maybe VIVK with a 1.55 won't get affected that much, but these are going to be moderate followers. So I'll be very careful with those. Let's see. Any of the other ones? Nope, not really. Small caps, betas really don't really come into play that much, but the larger the cap, the more institutions in there, the more they use these types of metrics. So, I kind of got to want to be in the know for that. But anyway, that is it for me today. I got to get out of here, get on the road. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. And I will see you guys in the next pre-market. I guess that'll be tomorrow. I think tomorrow is a short day or something like that. But yeah, appreciate you guys for tuning in. And as always, I did not find a pre-market, valid trade that's in scope. Maybe when I get to the charts later on, if the only thing with things that pop right at the open is they don't have structure built. I have to wait for the structure, and then it gets later on in the day, and now it's like, oh man, now I'm afternoon trading, and that's not what I want to be doing. But yeah, we will see what happens, and I will update you guys in the Discord. And as always, I will see you all in the next one. Peace.